Alright, today we'll be designing this. However, I'm considering changing these pictures, although they are public personalities, but I think for maybe, I might not know. I just want to replace them with some other more public figures. That's just it. The rest of the write-ups will still remain the same, and then we move on. Let's get started. So I launched my CorelDRAW. I'm using X5 CorelDRAW, of course. You can use any version you have. And here is the welcome screen, whereby I have to just choose new document, blank new document here. Not a quick start. Then I'm using the color profile I want to use, possibly CMYK color profile, and then start. The reason is that what I'm designing is basically for this work was meant for, it's a flex banner I designed actually. It was designed and printed for my church then, but today I just want to teach us how I got this done. Maybe one of the things to be learned here is the background effect, this kind of background effects you see here, and then secondly, cropping of photograph in CorelDRAW. The other time when we did magazine, we tried to treat cropping, but the nature of the picture we had is such that it's difficult to be cropped with CorelDRAW perfectly. However, this is more like the kind of pictures you'll be having. Like 90% of the time, you're going to be having something like normal pictures, okay, without extra effects on the hair. Okay, let's get started. Let's get to the business. Now, here is it. I just launched my CorelDRAW and it's opening A4 page for me. The first thing I should do is to decide my page sizing. Okay, this was a banner design, flex banner of. It was designed in feet, so feet, or it was printed in feet because I have the dimension of what I wanted to print by 8 by 10. So I changed my units from whatever it is to feet, such that when I put it here 8, and now put this on 10. All right, it should be able to give me what I'm going to work with, but I want it to be on the landscape setting, so I click on that landscape. That's what we're going to design. Now, because I do not have everything offhand, I have to bring in this concept in and paste it. I just copied and pasted. Oh, it's tiny, it's small here. Okay, you know what? A good way to do this, because so that my work will not be heavy for me, I just want to quickly adjust this and use inches, same 8 by 10. Okay, with that I believe, yes, the page is going to be a little smaller and it will make my work lighter for me in terms of exporting and all of that. So I've gotten my page there. I might need to click on the rectangle tool and then draw something similar, and then just type in, unlocking here, and then type in here 8 by 10 or 10 by 8, depending on however I want it. Okay, sorry, 10 by 8 is around 10 on the horizontal axis, 8 on the vertical axis. Then P on keyboard, press P to put it to the center. But that's just a long process. Me, I usually double clicking on the tool brings it to, like, just fills it into the page border. All right, the next thing I might want to do is to, let me just start sketching some stuff. So I pick a circle tool. I want to sketch this area here reserved for the pictures. Okay, and I highlight, while that is being highlighted, I hold down shift and click on the other rectangle we drew within the page boundary, and then press C to centralize it perfectly well. I think that goes well for me. And while that is being on, maybe I'll put a color for it to it, something light color. You can see this light gray color here. So that is what I'm putting there. Then I have to duplicate it to have the second layer. What did I do? Hold on, delete something. Okay, so I undo. Now I want to duplicate this. While I'm trying to transform it or to adjust the size, right click to make a duplicate. So I have the second copy of it, but because the color is the same, you cannot really differentiate anything. I have to I have to click on the white color to fill it the way I'm seeing it here. So that is it. Okay. I think, okay, this is cool. Now select these two, go to effects menu, power clip, place inside container. Alright, you know the power clip stuff already. I think that looks good. That looks good. One thing I'm observing is like this one is big because up to this point is the bottom of this, and then up to this point is the neckline. Okay, it's still the same, still very perfectly. Control A and delete. Okay, so the next thing to be done now is okay, let me fill this background with maybe something dark a little, but I know that I would have to bring in all these pictures. In fact, let me just start from there to make life easy. Okay, these are the resources I have to work with. We already have this one inside there, so I highlight these ones and copy. I hope that is what I press is copy and paste here. Okay, so I have now brought in all those resources from wherever I kept them, so I can do my design straight ahead. First of all, let me create this background. How do I create this background now? This picture should serve that purpose. So with that being in place, power effects, power clip, place inside container. So I'll put it inside the container, but I have to edit it. So I click on it and say edit content. After placing it to the container, I now right click and say edit content. Let me look at how it was positioned. Okay, I could see that the hand was around this area, and then the body, I think, is almost the same here. Okay, almost the same. Okay, I can see it's like this one is too big because this guy is showing, this part of this guy is also showing there. So, but that's not my focus anyway. My focus is in getting this picture and giving it the kind of effects. The picture in itself is fine. Let me just send it to the back. Shift and page down, send it to the back so that this other circle will be above it. Okay, this thing is also showing here, but me, I don't want it to show in this instance. I want to hide it, so I have to enlarge it a little. Okay, that's the way I want it to go. A picture in itself is fine. Centralize it. Bring it up a little further. This picture is beautiful picture. Okay. Adjust it a little further. All I don't want is I don't want that white, that time code to show. Okay, I'm cool with this. So that's fine, but I want to give it this kind of effect. First of all, the background I colored is this dark blue, which might be difficult to, to show. If you print it, it's going to be too dark when you mesh this thing. But how do I get this background now? Quickly, I have to edit this. Right click and choose edit power clip. But what I did was to hold down Control on keyboard and click on it. You see the same thing. And when you hold down Control and click outside, you exit. Hold down Control and click in, you edit power control. It's the same thing as saying edit content, and then right click here, finish editing this level, or you come to this place, finish editing this level. So when in case you see me toggling between the two, you know what I just did. It's a matter of holding down Control to click in or out. All right, so I want to color this, make this image or the background to look like this other one. In that case, I'll have to go to transparency tool and apply a uniform transparency to it. But the blend mode for it, operation of the transparency, I think we've learned this somewhere, can't remember again, one of those lessons we had. So it's going to be on a subtract mode. The subtract mode is usually what you might use most of the times, as you see, not normal, linear, and all that options there that are available in the other section. You can see this is darker than this, but then the color I use actually is supposed to be a cyan color, not that blue is going to be too dark. Okay, it doesn't still give me the same thing. See, perfect blue, too dark, cyan, too bright. So what next? Basically, by default, when you take transparency tool, it will position it at 50% of transparency. So let me use halfway that's 25%, so that this thing will be more dark or darker than how it was. Oh, that's giving me exactly perfect. I think that is okay. Remember that this is an exported image, so sometimes when you export some tones might be out of the range, but that's okay. But meanwhile, let me try it on this other color here. Could it have been this? That's not possible. That's not possible. So I was right here. That's the color. Now let's get to the typing part or the design part. Then I have to quickly type in here the heading, just to draw something. Okay, basically just draw, color it red. Remember to remove the outline if it didn't come with it. If it came with it, okay. Why the shape is being highlighted, that's when you click it, because if you don't click it when the shape is being highlighted, it might want to prompt you if you're going to make it a permanent artistic concept for new designs. So I brought in this logo and it's hiding. I could right click on it and say order to front of layer, or I could just press shift and paste up on keyboard. So that's it. I move it in. What I was trying to do was to press E and C to center it, but it's not this kind of centering, so I don't need the E option. I don't need the C option, which is the center here. I need the E option that centralizes between the up and the down. That is the vertical alignment to be centered. Then quickly type the name. Assemblies of God. Assemblies of God. Okay, Rumokusi Zone 2. I just want to duplicate this by moving it and then right clicking before dropping. Then double click on it to open. Rumokusi Zone. I think that's what I'm saying there. Okay, that's it. Then I need to give it a font that looks like this. I think I can see that the font there is my regular friendly font, Futura. I need to put this font in the folder for you in case you want to work with it. You need to use it so that I can get something that looks more like this. You are getting advanced in what you are doing. So first one, you be duplicating or replicating everything perfectly well for me. So that's Assemblies of God, and then Rumokusi Futura still, but I can see that that one was a little smaller. This Futura is not. I think this one is better off. It's bolder than the other one. Yes. So that's the Futura we're using here. And then this one we can use the Futura MDBT. Okay, I like the MDBT here more. Okay, yeah. Bold, no. Okay. Futura font family has some options. You can just look at the one that matches. But for me, I've gotten that this one was looking a little smaller than the other, so just color it white. I think this one. Okay, this zone stops at the back of God. Let's see. Align with this to the left. Zone still go a little towards this angle, and that is it. But I'm feeling that something isn't right, because if everything is right, it's supposed to almost balance well. It is either my rectangle is too thick, as in the height is bigger than what the other one is. Yes, I could see it was the same. So with this and this E to center align it, possibly I have to stretch my rectangle a little further to the front and then stretch the text so that I can feel it well as much as it is. Take note that this is a picture. I can't edit this, okay, as at this time. I'm just using it to look at the way things were done to position it. Gradually, when we return, we'll be getting to a point that we don't need any sampling anymore for anything. I'll just send you text right up, then you design the graphics for me using your imagination. This might likely be the last. Okay, apart from the samples I've already sent you, which I'm trying to use for this, let's continue, please, no time. But get ready for that time whereby you would just have to design without any sample. All that you will ever have is something like this, the resources you will have. The next thing you will likely have is the text or the write-up that is expected of you to use. You decide the positioning, decide the character size, decide everything you want. We might also specify the size we want from you, like a customer saying, I want a banner that will fill into my wall, or whatever it is. Okay. So here we now say presents. Quickly draw this, a little thin red line there, a red rectangle there. You know all the tools already, so I'm not saying anything again too much. Pick a circle too and draw a little circle just to cover the tip of that rectangle. Align it center, that's E on vertical alignment. So I want to remove the outline, which I just did, and it's done. This rectangle has what we call fountain fill, a blend of two fills. In this case, a blend of fills. Some fountain fill can be more than two, but in this case it's more like a two color blend. So come to fill tools and then pick fountain fill, and here we have our red already, but I want to pick the black. That's cool, the black fills it, but the kind of black, let's see, that's it. Okay, but the kind of black I want is something a little darker than this. So if I come to this place here, you will see fill color and outline color. Can double click here. It's the same thing as well going through the normal process of checking the fill, this fill color and then choosing fountain again. But me, I just wanted to show you something else. If you double click on this place, it takes you to the fill dialog box, and whatever fill that has been applied to that object, you would see. So I want to get back to my normal sizing to change this color from this normal black to something darker. Okay, let me see what it will look like. Oh, that's the color. It's a perfect color. 100, 100, 100, 100. That's clean. I didn't even observe it well. Okay, that's different from this other kind of black that is more like this one. Okay, and you can even see the way that one is faded inside that box there. You can see the way it's faded here. But when you use the 100, 100, 100, 100 black, you are sure to get perfect blend. Okay, and this red also is there, but if you ask me, I don't want to make use of this. It's no longer, doesn't make sense to me. Instead, what I want to do is to blend the two of them together. This and this together, be blended together with weld. Let me weld them together so that the whole thing will just blend all at once. So I now type presents. Okay, probably with the same our font, which is the Futura font. I usually like that font a lot. If you see plenty of my designs, I think I use that font. Other fonts too are there. You might have your own set of fonts and even set of colors of choice, especially when we get to Canva. If you are doing Canva can as well help you to manage fonts and colors easily for you as a pro user, not necessarily anyone else. Okay, so presents. This is tinier size than the other one. Then the spacing or the tracking space is a little more than what. Okay, I think I want to leave it like that. All that matters to me is get the concept. A day with Jesus Christ. Okay, so just pick my text tool and then type something. A day with. You see, I'm breaking. Enter. Christ. Okay. Jesus. That's the way that place works there. So I'm using the font here is Area Black because I know it, Area Black. So I'm using that font. Color it white, but I have to break it apart with Control K on keyboard. No, leave that one. And I have to, the A day size is a little okay, like this. Then the next one is width, very tiny here by the side. Just a matter of manipulation. Okay, we just manipulate it to give us what we want. Then the next one is Christ being bigger than everything in that place. Then Jesus coming almost hold on, let me close up the tracking space here. All right, then I want to copy the properties of this guys for this Jesus. Let's get to edit menu, copy properties from text. I think basically I just need the text properties because the color and the rest of it is the same. So I just bring it down here, and I think everything there is done. Apart from this here, the tracking space is quite much, so I have to pick shape tool and then close up the cap. Okay, please let me take note that these things are centered. 1, 2 and 3 are supposed to be on the same central space. That's C on keyboard is what I just pressed. The next thing is to get this more background for the width. Just make it different, you know. Sometimes graphics just do some funny things. Though, get to edit menu, copy properties from, and in this time around I want fill properties, outline and outline pin in case the other one has anything called outline. So here is I'm clicking on this subject, it gives me that same fill, which is the red and that permanent black. But in this case I want to change that red to blue or to green. So I double click on this fountain fill, the fill tool here, or the fill status here. Now it takes me here, so I'll change it to green here, and that's, take note of this. Let me get back to that place. It loads me back to this fountain fill dialog box whereby I see the two colors that I blended with, black and red initially, but now I'm changing the red to green. So I want it to be something like this. Just look at what this other one also showed to us. But this grid is standing on top of something. So what do I need to do? I have to maybe do something like this. Right click, order, behind of, in behind of, then I click on this guy. I just want it to be behind whatever this guy. I know that I started typing this guy before, so just all these people are on top of it. So if it stands behind this one, it's easily, instead of sending it back to the back of the page, that just gives me an option of just lowering to about 2 or 3 steps, and it's done. You know, it's a matter of speed. Get your work done with the speed that is good enough for you to make your money if you are doing it for business, or to meet your client's targets. If a client is waiting on you, or if you are doing for yourself still, you know how you enjoy yourself doing your thing. Time is important. Okay, so we've gotten that point now. The next one we need to do is the theme section, looking almost similar to this. Maybe should I just duplicate this? Probably. So I just highlight that and then right click on it to duplicate it here, but I think I just wasted some time. It's not important. Let's get to, I want to delete this and delete all this. Maybe make use of this one. The character looks similar in size, a little bit though. Behold, he, capital letter, comet, small letter. So I pick my shape tool and then adjust from this point to close the paragraph spacing first of all. Then I would need to, the spacing is just over closed. The next thing I would need to enlarge it, and then I see that the sides, the thing is aligned to the left, so I would have to also align it to the left. And this one is colored green, so I take this, I want to pick the color concept of this one. So edit menu, copy properties from, fill basically is what I really want. Other ones I may not necessarily need them. So present was here before, it becomes theme this time around. So double clicking on it opens the text tool for me to be able to edit. So now say theme. Okay, and that is done. This is too long, so something again. I see that this one is having a curved, the corners are curved, unlike this one that the corners are straight. So there are two ways. I might likely want to ignore this, but hey guys, I don't want to do that. Just want to quickly draw a circle here. Okay, when I draw that circle here, now do what I call center it E. So now do intersection. This circle plus this, I want to get the intersection of it first of all. Having gotten the intersection of it, okay, see the intersection here. All right, Or there are many ways around it though. I could now use the intersection to trim the other one, which is still the same thing. Intersection is the same thing as this other one. It's just that I didn't really take note of it. But let me color it a different color so that you can see. Okay, so now say this and this trim. Wow, that trimming is not going to give me what I'm looking for still. It's going to trim it roughly for me. So what will I do? Instead, I don't just want to draw a different thing. I want to convert this other one to give it that curved edge. Wow, just quickly run out of steam of ideas there. Okay, let me just use my shape tool and shape it out quickly. It's a long process though. So double click on this, sorry, this one. I want to make a node here, and I want to make another node here. Okay, I think I've gotten the quick way about it. Just push this thing, get inside here, then take this one first, then click on this one secondly, and then combine. Beautiful. Why should I be wasting time? That was way one. Second way, now okay, I haven't gotten this curved edge. As you see that the thing is still long, so I want to pick my shape tool, highlight on all those areas, and then drag it in, make it smaller. Delete these nodes. Okay, this one should be there to control these curves. Okay, so you come to the center here. So you can see that more like graphics is more about you just sitting down to think, what do you want to achieve? The next thing is, okay, which method can I deploy that will help me to achieve my intention? Chicken, huh? That's how it is. You can see the way I just called while I was trying to think of what to do next. I have to devise a means. So I move it. I can see that that's not much, but that's the way I could see the spacing here and all that. Positioned. Okay. Please, guys, let me just save this first. Okay. Maybe I'm going to save it in the exports lesson 5. Okay. That's the name. I'm going to save it. Flex banner design. I'm replacing whatever has been there. This is our work now. Okay. What next? Let's draw this part. So I pick my circle tool first and draw this big circle. Draw it there, then just make this other inner layer of it, something, and color it appropriately. And we use the thicker outline. This one doesn't have any outline, so it's going to be perfectly white. But for now, I have to color it. I have to color this one white. White one is going to be gray color. Okay. When I lift it to the right side, I will now move it because the background is white. I don't want to conflict issues. Okay. Then I also have this side of it, the hand of the watch or the belt up there. Then down here still a similar thing, but I need to expand a little. This one has more flesh. Okay. Grouping that too, and then putting with this one when I'm pressing E on keyboard. E grouping is Ctrl G to group. In other words, when I select this one and select this one, I want to group it so that whenever I move them, they will always go together. Okay, they will always go together. So that I can easily, for instance, when they are here now, and now say center with this other one now. I like this, then select this one secondly, then press E so that it will put it at the same horizontal line, making the center here to be the center space. The next thing I want to do now is see the same thing on keyboard. Brings it to the proper center horizontally, while the other one places it on a vertical level. So that's that. Then next is type the text. Type the text. So my text to 14. The next thing is May 2022. I have to center align it or Ctrl E while I'm using textbook. If you use text tool, if you use Ctrl E when you are using normal pick tool, it will be exporting. But if you use Ctrl E on with text tool, is center. On this note, I'm going to print a list of shortcuts. Please take note of this so that I can send it across. First of all, I say I'm going to send this Futura fonts. Secondly, I say I'm going to print shortcuts. That one is on a different article, but Futura fonts has to come along with this tutorial. So the 14 here is area black is a font there. So I'll just make it as large as I think it is. When we are doing our own design, we'll now use our head to design, but now I'm trying to look at this to get a prototype of, to get how large the size of that 14 is. May is combined with 2022, so I'm having selected it, so now press Ctrl L on keyboard to combine them together again. But the character there I'm using, the font I'm seeing here is Times New Roman, okay, bold and italicized. But for me, I want to use, okay, let's maintain that. Let's maintain that here. No, so let's just try to design as much as what we see here. Okay, so that's how it's taken care of. Close up this cap a little. Okay. The next thing here is the date or the time. Talking about 10 a.m. 10. Then I duplicate here 0.00 a.m. prompt. Just breaking them. So I have to reduce all of them to get into what space I've provided for it. I want to break it apart, Ctrl K, and then this 0.00 and AM. Everything is, all these three things are standing just in front of the 10. So I want to raise this my colon. Is that colons? No, this is the one that controls colon. You can see these three nodes. You can see this one here controls the last O, so you can position it roughly using that node with your text tool. This one controls this one. Me, I want to use this one. I want to position the colon to start at the middle of the other stuff and all that. The same thing, this one controls the entire spacing or the tracking of those characters. This one controls the spacing of the character when it's more than one or two lines, while this one controls each of the characters on their own. So bringing it in here, 00 AM, right? And let me just keep a little space there by dragging it a little off, okay? And prompt is the smallest boy in the classroom. So prompt comes in here and with a little spacing, so those characters will not be packed to themselves, right? I'm not more interested in the fonts arrangement or font family, but I think that's cool for me. Put it at the center. E, when you highlight, the same thing as going to arrange menu, and then you go to align and distribute, and then you go to distribute E, long process. So E and C takes care of that. Then the next thing is the venue. The venue of the event is right there, AG2. Most likely there is an instruction in Corridor that automatically converts AG to capital A and small, maybe like acting. You know, all these are matters of programming. It has been programmed to do that. So when you type AG, it changes back. So I have to turn it back by going to text menu, change case, text menu, change case, and brought it back to my standard. Then I want to move this character that I use here to the downside and type in there 30 old Abba Road Rumu Ivan Kurusi SPHC. All you are seeing, the breaking of the line is done by pressing enter on keyboard. Okay, I think all of us here know how to use, you must have known how to use computer somehow before get to graphics level with computer. Okay. Alright, so that is done. but this thing is colored white and no outline. Likewise, this is colored, okay, they are taken care of. This is white too and no outline. Okay, I hope I'm correct. Okay, the outer, yes, the white is here. This inner one has a gray outline, which I think I've done so. So that is this section. I just placed it and it just fits in the way it is. So the next thing is the pictures. I said before that I don't want to use these pictures. Not necessarily that I will be queried for it for any copyright infringement or any challenge, but I just feel like they are not the public figures. No, they are. But for sake that I already have these pictures here, I want to make use of these people. You likely will know, if not all of them, you know some of them. Okay, and so cropping ministry. The other time when we did the magazine, I couldn't crop every detail because the kind of picture we had there wasn't the regular type. Those kind of pictures, you better take them from studio, and when the background is perfectly black or white, depending on the color of the hair, it will be easy to separate it with Photoshop. Okay, another apps, maybe like Canva can as well handle some of such stuff, but CorelDRAW doesn't have that capability, and that's why you saw me leaving it the way it was. But in this case, we can crop everything perfectly with CorelDRAW, and 90% plus of all the pictures you will ever want to crop are likely going to be in something you can crop with Photoshop or with CorelDRAW, so you don't really have any challenge with that. How do we start it? Let's go to Align Tools. You can use freehand, Bezier, 2-point line, pen. Anyone can use any of them apart from artistic media, but I like the pen tool for cropping, because pen tool allows you to even curve lines while you are still drawing it, instead of drawing straight lines first and then coming back to crop it the next day. But no time. So I'm picking my pen tool and click on this point to start, and hold Control to click on the next point because it's more like a perfect line, and gives me that. Likewise here. Okay, until when we begin to get the Shift on keyboard gives me a straight line. So I click on this point. Remember to always leave a little gap. Don't cut everything. It's better you put it inside like this than to take it and come and click here. Thus that when you finish cropping, you see this small white line here, which is not right. Okay, undo. It is better you put it inside here and cut off all those small points. So I click here and drag it just to bend the line a little. Click here again and drag it and just twisting the line to follow the contour of that cloth or the body you are cropping. Okay, that is the beauty of the pen tool. The same effect you see here, you will see it in Photoshop. But take note, I don't intend teaching Photoshop in this boot camp. Okay, actually there are many packages you can use in graphics design, and even the ones we are learning to are just one of them. One thing is that if you are doing graphics with CorelDRAW, you will see your professional graphics works perfectly delivered. For those of us, if you are learning with Canva, you would be able to do your graphics design as much as Canva gives that grace. Even Canva will do cropping faster. For instance, what I'm doing now with Canva Pro, you are finished cropping by now. With Photoshop, you are still struggling like the way I'm doing now. So you can see that even the Photoshop has limitations still, although it's more like the foremost app, and it's very good for editing of pictures, having all the tools. Okay, but some newer apps are coming up. That doesn't mean that all these other people are no longer useful, because they have so many things that the newer apps can never do. For instance, I told you about CorelDRAW here. Customization. You can never customize things in maybe Canva the much you would customize with CorelDRAW or maybe any other design app too. But they have their own very, very key use. Okay. I don't know. I'm doing this thing. I'm being lazy about the way I'm cropping this picture. Please tap here Get that segment right. Get this segment right for me here. Okay, anyone that is not perfect, okay, we can use shape tool when we are done, but I still recommend, why not try and do it perfectly well in the first instance? But I saw a place I didn't do well. I don't want to go back to it again. Okay, you could try and get it perfectly well just at once. Reduce the stress for yourself. See the way the ear is. This kind of ear, if you just cut anything too deep inside, the ear has finished too. So, because the man wasn't looking straight to the camera, which is also a style for those that are doing that kind of thing. So, here we go. Alright, the moment I'm done with that section, the next thing I just to do, highlight it, go to Power Effects, Power Clip, place inside container. And with all my settings that it just fits, you see that everything has followed the contour of that my line. See the area I said that I didn't do well, you can see that the shape of the head is not balanced. So I want to pick my shape tool. Because it's on skin, I cannot leave the skin area to be like this. Human skin doesn't look like, having deleted that one, I think you can see it looking smooth now. I think that's one of the areas I really wanted to revisit. The rest of the areas are okay. I even like the way I curve this shoulder because it wasn't like that. So I also have to apply that kind of effect here to make it a little smooth. So what do I do? From this point, I make a note here and reduce this one, bring it down so that it will curve, and then just turn it. In other words, now I'm the one now trying to artistically find new contour levels for the body. Instead of following that initial that cut that the camera must have given, okay, maybe it was like a passport that was taken and all of that. So I found my own body line, and guess what? It's looking fine. Okay, that's this one now. The cropping is on, but the picture is looking a little darker for me. I need to just brighten it up a little because printer might also want to absorb the ink. So two ways. You can go to Bitmap Image Adjustment Lab. That is, we are using a higher version of CorelDRAW like X5, 6, 7, 8, 2021. You find this option. So you can just go to brightness and tap up a little and it will brighten the picture for you. And that's cool for me, just a little brightness. Or if you are using an older version like X3, 11, 9, whatever, go to Adjust, Brightness, Contrast, or Tone Curve. I like the Tone Curve better. Then you can as well come in here and preview. Lock the preview here. Then you turn up to see how it will be. If you turn down, it goes darker. Turn up, it goes brighter. And you can reset it. Okay, for us, we have achieved the level of brightness that we wanted to achieve. So I'm okay with that. So get out of that power clip by clicking out. You've learned about power clip severally. This picture is even too bright, but I think I'm going to maintain it that way. Alright, the next picture here is this other one. You know them. If you don't know them, ask me. So I'm starting from here now. Just pick and draw. Let me see if I can be a little quick about this. Okay, quickly, just curve things. Okay, one law is that you should not go outside. You see the way someone will look, or that the other picture looks smooth at the end of the day, because no part of the line I used to trace the picture, I didn't stop anything that cuts maybe and leaves something outside to be part of the skin. Instead, I cut all those things off and even cut a little into the skin or the clothing area, so that when you finally fit it to the box, everything is smooth and perfect. That place is not perfect for me. All right. I didn't enjoy that. Please, what did I do there? Oh, okay. No, well, it doesn't want to respond again. I hope it has not cancelled. Please cancel. So I just press space bar to cancel. I want to continue from where I stopped by coming to tap on that mouth to continue that movement. Seriously, I don't like it, but I have to just tap it in. Okay, don't worry. When I'm done, I'll come back and adjust that section with shape 2. I don't like the blending here. It's too straight. I wasn't supposed to tap up to that point. Okay. That's just it. You can always adjust yourself. Okay. You can always adjust back. And that is the beauty of this kind of cropping. In other words, you just make a box and power clip the content inside it. And then the power clip, like the outline of this shape now, the contour of the shape now becomes the contour of the body. And you can always adjust it whether in or out to match what must have been the reality which you didn't see in the first instance. So why worry? Don't cut in, just tap a little. Alright. Sometimes you zoom out so that I can see clearly and be sure of what you are doing. Because some pictures, details might be lost in the background. And you can hardly see when you zoom in that deep. You have to zoom out a little. And then what really happened now? Why are you curving like that? Okay. See, with this tool now, it automatically smoothens those curves, no? Makes it easy for it just makes the work perfect. You might want to come back and maybe change the areas of curving into or curving into smoothing, into curving, whereby you can just twist it depending. But that will be the work of shape 2 when you finally want to come and readjust the shape. That is if necessary. Me, I recommend that just take time and do it well. For me, I'm trying to make sure that this lecture doesn't take too long, because the longer it stays, the higher the file size will be. And don't know how most of us the quality of data that we used to buy. Me, I'm not worried. Data is not my problem. Okay, so here we go. So you are going to do the same thing as I'm doing now. You need to do it. I have to do this thing because I discovered that the last two lessons, people stop. Is it the last two or one of those lessons? One of those lessons, people stop wherever I stopped, probably because they do not have the resource file, or secondly too, they think what I did was the best. I only showed you the way of how I got my own done. I expect you to spend time and do your own well. Even as a student, your practices should not even go beyond what you see me do in the class. Let me give that as an example. A good student that really wants to pass an exam, you may not need to relax on what you learned in the classroom. You will always go ahead, read other books, get to learn one more thing, and then practice with it too, because that is what practice is where you're going to build up from. Okay, Colorado, we're almost getting to advanced stage whereby I will no longer show you sample of work. I will only send you write up resources. Oh yeah, design for me a social media flyer, design for me maybe a textbook or something, design for me a flex banner, design for me something for maybe a t-shirt or all that stuff. Where's the beginning? Okay. This is a straight line. I want to take it as a straight line, and then this is also a straight line back to this point. Is it closed? I don't know. Let me say select this effects, power clip, place inside container. Beautiful. Remove the outline. Where is that place I wanted to come back to? This place. So what I want to do now is to add a node here, add another node here by double clicking, then delete this place and then move it in to just give me perfect roundness there. Okay, here you can see that this trimming here was imperfect. You can see this small line of dirty stains. That stain is coming probably from the background that I didn't crop in effectively. So what will I do? I want to just quickly maybe first of all, let me see if I can tap it inside a little. If it is going to solve my problem for me. Tapping in by using, okay, yes, it has solved. And with this now, assuming that there is an opening in this place, maybe like leading to outside or somewhere else, you could just come back and trace the contour, then use this together and combine them. When you combine it opens that hole so that you can see through the way Photoshop will still help you to do. So in other words, I am trying to prove to you that CorelDRAW is almost self-sufficient, both for you to design, to crop. I remember when a student asked a question, how do you do the cropping? And I answered that we will try to find our way around it. You might even be shocked that CorelDRAW can do the cropping as even faster than Photoshop for you. Everything depends on how you know how to use it. So it's time, skill, and the creativity that you deploy that matters to the work. Hey, I want to flip this guy. Face your friend. Face your brother. Maybe let me also rotate him a little so it doesn't look like if he's bent. Although here I'm changing the perspective. Hey, you turn. Face your brother too. So you could see this. Now, having done this, be a little bigger. Having done this, the next thing is to power clip them together. Next thing is to power clip them together inside this box. So I just get in the effects power clip, place inside container, then click on the container there, and it has entered. Someone, you're looking like a small boy here. Why now? Why are you looking like a small boy? Done. Let me see. Okay. I prefer this way. I like this side that shows full body contour. This other one was more like shrinking. But let me look at it again. Let me use Chinese eye to look at it. I like the way his face is facing this side, but the hand is looking cut off. While Wiki is looking full blown here, but this looks more like a perfect arrangement. My eye, that shall not confuse me. Okay, but that's it. I want the body to look more reasonable. Okay, that's why I have to maintain it like this, and that's the way I want it to be. Let's see, okay, come closer. This one is my own personal creativity. Of course, creativity will always be there. You will always need it for everything, because nobody's going to send you design and say replicate this for me. You will always be the one to decide how your things go by yourself. Okay, so we're done with that. The next thing I'm going to think about is to put the titles. Okay, I'm not going to use this. I'm not going to use this anymore. So what I'm going to do is to just pick this concept of drawing my rectangle here, rectangle there, duplicating it by right clicking and then right clicking to drop it here. One of them is going to color this color. I don't want to struggle looking for the color, so in this instance I pick this color and click on it. That guy, that anyone that had issue with eyedropper tool, just click on the eyedropper tool, click on the color that you want to, the color you want to pick, it selects it, and then click on the object. The next other one here is just the red stuff, and I'm removing the outline from there. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do also is to add this small arrow pointing to somewhere. So I do that and convert this to curve. Right click, convert to curves, pick my shape tool, quickly make a note at this central point. Is that the central point? Yes. Delete this one and delete this one by double clicking on it. That's it, and it blends. Remove the outline so everything enters. So I can now group them, or maybe I might not, but I want to group them. And then this one goes to this person. I'm going to reduce it further a little. This one goes in here. Then this one will go into this side, and I turn it the other way around. So one is pointing towards this side, the other one is pointing to the other side. Then I now put here text. B Sanwo Olu. White. This program is more like a Port Harcourt program. So this is going to be the guest speaker. Okay. All the color is black, and I'm going to use the perfect black in this case because the machine that prints this can do separation perfectly. Yes. So using guest speaker there, and maybe this one should be italicized, while the name should be in straight character. So come to this side and put E N Wiki. I'll put here chief host or just host, and center it there. Okay, I want to delete this one now. I think, is there anything I need to do again? Oh, I just deleted that thing. Show me. Is there anything remaining? We are done. Alright, so that is it. The next thing I want to do is to save this one. Okay, I'll highlight everything. I'll just click with my picture and cover it. Go to file menu, export. The exporting is just to, I want to make sure that this is the one I'm sending to you, banner. So I'll replace the other one that I used as initial sample. Okay. Click OK. Using 300 dpi there. I think it's not so harsh. Alright.